Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 31 of the Wrestling Rundown. We're getting closer and closer to the Royal Rumble. Lots of build for it on tonight's Raw. We're going to be changing up the Raw review a little bit. Rather than...
and all subsequent reviews.
The other ones aren't so bad.
Yeah, but it's still work.
We'll give it a shot. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through all the different matches that happened tonight, and then we're just going to talk about the most important stuff that comes to mind. So, starting off Raw, we had a promo that led into John Cena attempting to get the jobs back of Ryback, Dolph Ziggler, and Erik Rowan if he beat Seth Rollins in a lumberjack match, which he did not due to outside interference from the Big Show. We had the New Day defeat the Masters in a tag team match. Roman Reigns defeated Luke Harper. Alicia Fox defeated Naomi, who had one arm tied behind her back. The Miz defeated Jey Uso. We had Brie Bella defeat Paige.
Ooh.
And we had the Ascension go over on another nameless, faceless tag team.
Well, they weren't wearing all blue this time around.
And then we had Rusev technically win over Dean Ambrose when the match was thrown out. And we finished the night off with a contract signing. So I think
Who won the contract signing?
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, technically Seth Rollins won the contract signing.
All right.
So I guess, first, the biggest storyline is the guys that got fired last week. John Cena attempts to bring them back.
Yeah.
Authorities, the authorities mocking him.
He attempts to bring them back by saying that if I win, I'm going to become Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
That was the dumbest choice they could have had.
Oh my god.
Of all people, why John Cena?
Yeah.
That is completely against anything John Cena would ever do. It made no sense whatsoever.
I feel like it had to have been self-parody on some level because he's like, oh, what's Raw going to be like without a champion? What's SmackDown going to be like without a champion? Like, you have to know.
Like, SmackDown never sees the championship.
I don't think the championship's been on SmackDown since The Rock made the new title.
Yeah, probably not.
I think John Cena was on it like twice. So
Maybe.
Yeah.
This was a really dumb choice, and then this led to the Authority coming out, and I didn't even believe the Authority's promo.
No.
Stephanie just kind of jumping around from segment to segment. I think Triple H kind of brought it full circle because that's what Triple H does. But yeah, overall,
I think he does Stephanie.
Well, that too.
Oh, all right.
He can do two things.
All right.
He's multi-talented.
One with his nose.
Yeah.
Which one? I'll let you decide.
But yeah, so we got the lumberjack match that John Cena ended up losing because all of the lumberjacks were heels.
Except Justin Gabriel, maybe. Maybe.
Justin
Gabriel, who likes to dance on the outside.
Yeah.
Justin Gabriel doesn't know what he is. He doesn't have enough TV time to really
Justin
understand
Gabriel's
who he is.
confused. He thinks he's a werewolf.
Yeah.
Well, that's because everyone told him he was a werewolf.
Maybe that's why it was heel. It was his time of the month.
Werewolf time.
Yeah.
What's a full moon?
Is it a full moon?
Probably not.
I post some comments.
Yeah.
Is it a full moon today?
Let's see.
You'll never know what day this is we're talking about, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, we did just say we watched Raw. So
I mean, you can look at the date that
You
the
can watch
video...
Raw and then do it 3 days later.
You can look at the date that the video went up and then, maybe figure it out from there.
This is
Probably.
true.
Or if you know what Raw we're talking about. You probably
Yeah.
Was January 12th of 2015 a full moon?
Fuck no.
We could probably check.
You're going to look out the window real quick.
No. We had we had a couple people being reprimanded for their, you can't see the moon.
I can't see the moon from the window.
Go in my room. Jesus Christ. We're stopping this.
No, keep going.
No.
Yeah.
Kevin,
We're
keep
wasting
going.
time. The timer's still going. We
Yeah.
gotta keep doing this.
We had a couple people being reprimanded for stuff that happened last week. We had the Usos getting a stern talking to for words that they said in negative light to the Authority firing the three guys last week. And
okay, so it's not a full moon at all. Like,
They
not even
didn't-
close. Second, we didn't introduce ourselves
Yeah.
when do we ever?
all the time.
No, we do not.
Thomas introduces us, and I introduce us.
No, you introduce who we're playing.
It still
That's
counts.
Guess what? We're the same people.
Maybe.
The Usos got a stern talking to.
I don't know
and
somebody else.
They were expecting punishment. And they didn't get punished, but Naomi.
I'm gonna be honest, I just think they wanted to get spanked by Stephanie. Wouldn't you?
They didn't end up getting punished at all. It was
Instead, Stephanie punished Naomi.
Naomi ended up having to wrestle against Alicia Fox later in the night with one arm tied behind her back, which was actually still a pretty good match for one arm.
That was the best one arm tied behind the back match that's ever existed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
Well, and
that was pretty good.
It helps that they have the apparatus to do that rather than
That's not a dumb string. Or
Yeah.
rope.
It's just messy. Alicia Fox ends up winning.
String made a mess.
Well, it's just it can come untied so easy, and then the match is just moot at that point.
Yeah.
Moot.
And then the other person that got reprimanded was Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose being forced to talk with a doctor who specializes in abnormal psychology. He had to be evaluated, and if he didn't pass the evaluation, he wasn't going to be able to be in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And so we had 3 different segments. The first one was just real simple. Dean Ambrose had to relax and self-reflect, and he ended up having a staring contest with a clock.
Yeah, it was like a metronome.
Yeah.
It was just tick, 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 tick.
Yeah,
tick,
he just
tick, 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 tick. And I don't see why the doctor started a metronome
because he's a
clock.
psychologist. I don't know. He's a
You
psychologist.
could start a clock, and it'd be quiet.
Yeah.
We've got a clock going over there, and you don't hear it.
What's a digital clock? You don't hear digital clocks.
So,
There's a difference.
I wonder if there's a setting for that.
Please don't check. But then our second segment with Dean Ambrose, we had a word association where the doctor would hold up a picture and he'd have to give the first thing that came to his mind. We had
Triple H.
Irritable
bowel syndrome.
What was that?
Irritable bowel syndrome.
All right. Seth Rollins.
Scumbag.
Roman Reigns.
Brother.
Kane.
Toothpaste.
Axel Jim Duggan.
Oh!
Stephanie.
Oh! That was really good. Yeah.
You guys are really good at doing hoes.
Oh! No, this was...
Better when you guys are in unison.
Yeah, I stopped in case my girlfriend watched this video.
Just in case. Yeah, probably one of the funniest segments involving Dean Ambrose in a long time. He's been wrapped up in the really bad Bray Wyatt feud.
Yeah, but he's moving on. From
he's moving on to better things and it's being psych-evaluated before the Royal Rumble.
I like the buffest psychiatrist ever. I said that every time.
Yes, you did.
And then the third segment, though, we'd come back to the office, and now Dean Ambrose is in the chair,
Yeah.
and the psychiatrist is
crying,
is
on the
laying down on the couch, spilling his heart out to Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
And my dad, well, he never hugged me. You know, I get it. I feel like we've made a lot of progress here.
Yeah.
Pretty much gets the doctor to sign the papers saying that he's all good and he can be in the Royal Rumble.
Under false pretenses.
Yeah.
Yes. And then drops the bomb on...
That it is weird if you sit down and pee.
Yeah.
If you're a dude.
And props to that guy for really keeping up the...
Yeah.
I don't understand. He looked like an emotional wreck.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
great.
and the way it was done was really good because either it was scripted and done perfectly, or wasn't like scripted and Dean Ambrose was just making the shit up that he said. So this is what it felt like. That Dean Ambrose was just saying this shit, and then he was reacting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, either way.
That dude was really crying. He was really emotional about this segment. So.
He was really laughing. He was still laughing from the segment that he was like, all right, we got to change everything up because I can't stop laughing and I'm crying now. So let's work with this. Let's work with the crying.
No, I mean, he was just really emotional. He never did get hugged by his dad.
That's sad.
Him and Dean had that in common since Dean's dad is a criminal.
Oh.
Yeah.
And in jail.
Criminals can still give hugs.
Well, and the psychiatrist had too many muscles. His dad was afraid of him.
His dad was afraid of him?
Yeah.
It's true.
So Dean Ambrose was able to be in the Rumble. He ends up coming out and facing Rusev.
That was random.
Rusev and Lana doing another anti-Ryback.
He drop-kicked Rusev out of the ring.
From one end of the ring all the way to the other. And it wasn't initially supposed to be a match because there was no referee out there. It was just Dean Ambrose is like, you know what? I'm tired of hearing Rusev talk.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go out there and whoop his ass.
It's like, hey, didn't that used to be mine?
That belt, I want it back.
I remember it.
This ends up going to a no contest or I don't know.
The ref just called the match off.
Yeah, he just stops the match because of Dean Ambrose's knee issues. I called bullshit on this because last week, before he got fired, we had Dolph Ziggler, who had been knocked in the head, who is concussion prone.
Yeah.
He gets knocked in the head, but he's standing up, telling the referee, yes, I want this match to continue. And they let it go. But Dean Ambrose, because he can't get to his feet yet, who's able to talk he's completely fine, well, as fine as Dean Ambrose can be in the head, but he's able to consciously tell the ref, no, don't stop the match, and they call it.
Well,
head injury, knee injury. I call bullshit on that one.
Well, I mean, to me, it's just, some sort of suspension of disbelief has to be used here. Because, I mean, how often do people get, like, their knee gets worked over on Raw, and then the next week on Raw, it's still hurt, kind of thing.
And they go through match after match after match.
I think they're just trying to play it up more to show how careless Dean Ambrose is with his physical well-being.
Yeah.
They're trying to get that point across more so.
Though. Yeah. I think we understand that Dean Ambrose is crazy and he doesn't care what he does to himself. He just wants to go out there and hurt people.
I just wish they were doing more to position Dean Ambrose directly against the Authority and had Triple H or Steph come out and call the match for Dean Ambrose's safety.
It would have made way more sense that way.
My weird note thing of the night.
Okay.
Adam Rose and the Rosebuds came out to support Cesaro and Kid.
Yes.
But really didn't matter that much.
No. The match itself.
Like, even just Adam Rose being out there kind of made sense. But having the whole spiel with the Rosebuds out there and everything was a little overkill, I think.
Yeah, and not only that, but we had on SmackDown, we had the rematch between Big E and Adam Rose. Mm-hmm. Adam Rose lost, and the Masters didn't get involved.
Yeah.
So now we have the Masters against Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, and Adam Rose tries to get involved, but the New Day still wins. So, the heels have lost consecutively twice. Are we finally going to get the 6-man tag on SmackDown and, bring this whole thing full circle? Or
I'm hoping.
We're going to get another, we're going to get, Adam Rose and Tyson Kidd versus Big E and Kofi Kingston? Or,
versus Xavier Woods and Cesaro in a triple threat tag team match.
I would be okay with Xavier Woods and Cesaro being a tag team.
Yeah. I don't know.
Me too.
It was a little strange. Yeah, I mean, none of them even got entrances.
Yeah.
No one involved in that match got entrances. So yeah.
So I thought both teams were gonna lose.
Well, I don't know. The match was good though.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that I'll say about this Raw. Like, it didn't really have bad matches.
No.
Just a lot of what the fuck stuff.
Yeah.
Like Brock Lesnar talking.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about that.
What the fuck?
Well, we know that's bad. Let's talk about other bad talking. We had Big Show come out and cut a Big Show promo.
Yeah.
It was pretty much saying that Roman Reigns isn't a threat.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns comes out, Big Show starts walking away, and then Roman Reigns had a good start.
Yeah, he tried to channel the spirit of The Rock.
He tried too hard and it failed.
Yeah.
He ended up telling a fairy tale story about Roman Reigns and a beanstalk and a giant that he knocked the teeth of his throat.
This story didn't make a lot of sense. Yeah. And granted, when The Rock did story time, it didn't make a lot of sense either. But The Rock was funny.
Yes.
Roman Reigns tries too hard to be funny.
Yeah.
I think at this point we need to realize 90% of The Rock's charisma came from the black side of his family.
Think so?
Yeah.
Rocky Johnson was pretty charismatic.
Because I can't think of any Samoan wrestlers, no offense to any Samoan wrestlers out there, that even come close to half as charismatic as The Rock ever was.
Okay, yeah.
That's a fair statement.
The Usos?
The Usos are
They're charismatic, but they're not as good as The Rock on the mic.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, not even close.
The only other...
Rikishi wasn't good on the mic.
Rikishi wasn't good on the mic, but
Yokozuna didn't really talk.
I would say Rikishi was charismatic, though.
Yes.
Charismatic, yes.
Just not...
Speaking-wise, no.
No.
Yeah, no, I can't think of any, Umaga didn't cut promos.
He just yelled and smiled.
Rosie wasn't highlighted very
Hurricane
much
was
in
his
promos.
mouthpiece.
Yeah, so...
I'm
sorry.
That is a very fair statement.
Yeah.
No offense to the Samoan wrestlers out there, but...
You're pretty much all good wrestlers.
You're very talented people that aren't the best talkers in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're at least still better than Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, they just need to make Roman Reigns a Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah.
That'd
Actually,
be good.
We were talking about that when we were watching Raw.
Yeah.
Earlier. We watched it twice because this
Yeah.
guy worked late. Yeah. I'm actually more excited for them to have Roman Reigns be a heel. As a singles competitor heel.
Yeah.
As opposed to the
It'll happen eventually, I think.
Yeah. If he gets the Batista treatment this year, it'll happen real soon.
I don't think he'll get the Batista treatment.
Even if he wins a Rumble?
Yeah. I do, however... I should say, came off with the feeling after Roman Reigns' promo that if wrestling fails him, he has a decent future, at least is career-wise, as a book on tape guy. For children's books.
Yeah, despite his inability to cut a promo, he does talk very fluently.
Yeah.
Well, he's good at storytelling.
I thought you were going to say as a prescription sleep aid. On tape.
Yeah, but he could tell Cinderella, stuff like that. This also spawns from that one commercial they did where he was playing with his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't meant for cutting promos, he was meant for reading bedtime stories.
Well, they had Del Rio do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, you see where Del Rio is now.
Yeah, Ring of Honor.
Not in WWE.
Yeah,
Ring of Honor.
Yeah, where the real wrestlers go.
I remember the commercial where Del Rio was playing with Roman Reigns' daughter.
Whoa. Okay.
It's not supposed to be dirty. Don't take it there.
No.
No, not at all.
No.
You're trying to take it there, though.
Nope. Not doing it at all. We had Daniel Bryan on Raw.
Yes!
Declaring his intentions to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Which think it's self-explanatory. If you're in the Rumble,
yeah,
you should be trying to win it.
Bit redundant on that.
But then he'd be confronted by Stephanie, and Stephanie would be trying to remind him of all the bad shit that happened last year.
And trying to give him her fitness tip.
Yeah, because... Yeah.
So Daniel Bryan's not fit. That guy's not in shape at all.
No.
No, he just is trying to work on his womanly figure.
Yeah, she wants him to, realize, do you really want to put yourself through this again? Do you really want to, push yourself out there and potentially ruin the rest of your life? And he goes, yes.
She might as well, just because it's still fresh in everybody's mind. She should have just gone, do you want to edge yourself?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch. That would have been bad.
I would have laughed.
I know you would have.
But I'm a bad person.
Daniel Bryan pretty much sums it up in, I'm never gonna stop fighting. These people are never gonna stop fighting. We are never going to stop fighting.
Mm-hmm. I stopped fighting.
In which
it's way easier.
This segues into Stephanie going, okay, well, fine. You want to be that way. Well, your first match isn't going to be the Royal Rumble. It's going to be this Thursday on SmackDown.
Which we've already known for like a week and a half.
Yeah, and they announced it when they said that Daniel Bryan was going to be on Raw. That, he returns to action this Thursday on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And
so it wasn't a very big bombshell that Stephanie was dropping.
Stephanie assumes that no one watches SmackDown.
But they announced it on Raw.
Stephanie assumes that no one watches the show.
And they announced it on NXT.
Stephanie assumes that no one watches wrestling.
God, Stephanie, you dumb.
We did find out that Daniel Bryan will be facing Kane.
Yes.
On SmackDown.
Corporate Kane.
Corporate Kane. And
Baldy McSuit guy.
Toothpaste.
Yeah, they proceed to brawl.
No. Daniel Bryan proceeds to beat the shit out of Kane for 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well, Kane...
Despite the fact that 4 zebras were trying to hold him back.
Yeah.
So
Kane did...
whole herd of zebras.
Get a chance to attempt a tombstone.
Yeah.
He tried.
Which, to me... Was it just me, or did it seem like Kane was really struggling to hold Daniel Bryan up?
Daniel Bryan was really fidgety.
Yeah.
Still.
Which leads me to my question. Why the fuck wasn't Kane booked as, the biggest monster heel of this past year? Because he took out Daniel Bryan, according to this new revelation.
Yeah.
And, if they didn't pussyfoot around it, he took out Daniel Bryan and CM Punk in the same year.
Yeah.
But they didn't mention any of that until Kane started beating up Daniel Bryan and threw him into the stairs.
Yeah.
Then Michael Cole's like, Kane's the reason he's been gone for 8 months.
Yeah.
It's because of the attacks from Kane, he's been on the shelf. I'm just like,
instead of being the biggest monster of the year, he just became the do.
Yep. Biggest do of the year.
Means director of operations. We're not calling him Poop.
No, but it sounds like it.
Yep. That's why we like it.
Yeah.
Another awesome announcement we got tonight is that the first inductee into the 2015 Hall of Fame will be the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ooh,
well, first we got the announcement. First, we got the announcement that it was going to be announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was expected.
I was bombarded on Facebook this morning when I woke up of Macho Man's going to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Macho Man might get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Did you hear that WWE might induct Macho Man Randy Savage into the Hall of Fame? Okay.
Apparently. I even texted you.
Yeah. Yeah, half an hour before Raw starts, holy shit, we're getting Macho Man. Okay.
It's because I started getting tweets from Zack Ryder and other wrestlers.
Yeah.
That were like, oh, Macho Man's getting in this year. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Goddamn time.
And I'm, that's cool, but why would you do the whole, he might get inducted tonight on Raw when you're planning on inducting him, and then follow it up with a promo package that you're just going to show again later, and then having, a group of superstars do their best Macho Man impression.
That was
that
fun,
was their worst Macho Man impressions, I think, actually.
That was pretty fun, though.
It was.
Vote for Paige.
She did have a pretty funny one. Do we want to talk about the Ascension's failed attempt at getting over again?
I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about, but sure.
It was a lot like all the other ones they did.
They did their same promo. They did their same...
They didn't do the same promo. They did 3 teams this time. They've yet to do 3 teams.
Okay, they combined their last 2 promos.
Yeah.
That happened to be the same promo, just with one team different.
When when Connor shouts, he sounds like Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing he's got going for him right now. Except for the Asian guy that they ended up going against.
That guy...
Sign him to NXT.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Dude,
yeah.
I would like to see him getting squash matches with all the other guys in NXT.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago, that WWE needs to sign, like, jobbers again.
I need more enhancements.
I don't even think they need to sign jobbers. What they need to do is they need to take guys that aren't on NXT yet, that are, like, still kind of building themselves up, people that know how to take a bump, put them on Raw to put over the big guys, give them that first taste of being on a grand stage.
Yeah.
Then take that experience, work towards being on NXT, and that's kind of like your initiation. Like,
I think the main reason they don't do that, though, is because of the popularity of NXT, and they don't want people to go, oh, isn't that new guy who's coming out and is beating this guy up the same guy that just jobbed to Fandango?
Well, no, don't do it like, don't have the person be on Raw and then like 2 weeks later have them show up on NXT. I'm saying like right now we've got I wouldn't put Enzo or Cass or Marcus Louis or anyone who's a mainstay on NXT. I'd bring up guys that are still working on promos that they don't need the talk.
No, we get what you're saying.
But
if I see a guy on Raw get squished, though, and I see him come up on NXT, no matter how long it's going to be, if I recognize the guy, I'm immediately going to go, oh, that's the dude who got beat up by so-and-so. Especially if they have him come in and do, like, a big, successful debut.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, he couldn't last 4 minutes with Bo Dallas on Superstars. I don't believe he's going to come in and beat Hideo Itami in his debut match.
But then why are we reflecting on when Dean Ambrose and the Hardys and Daniel Bryan and all these people were jobbing on Velocity to John Cena and all these people, and all of a sudden they're at the same level now?
We're the only 3 people who watched Velocity.
Yeah. The only 3 people that ever watched Velocity.
What's Velocity?
Yeah, what's Velocity?
You brought it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and Sunday Night...
You were the only person that watched Velocity.
I'm just saying, it's, where WWE's highlighting that on their website, though.
Yeah, but no. What it is, it's like... It just creates a weird vortex of like, okay, little Asian dude got killed. Mm-hmm. Little Asian dude comes and beats NXT star. So NXT star is weaker than little Asian dude. NXT star gets called up and beats so-and-so superstar. It's just this weird cycle of...
Doesn't really make sense.
Nah, I call it BS.
But that's kind of why they do it. But what I was saying about hiring jobbers is like Brooklyn Brawler, Norman Smiley,
Barry Horowitz.
Yeah, like these are names that everyone knew and people liked.
Everybody had their favorite jobber.
Yeah. And
Barry Horowitz. It's mine.
I didn't watch wrestling around the jobber time.
Yeah.
For me, that was when the roster was so deep that you could put anyone against anyone.
Yeah.
And it didn't really matter.
But it's a way to put guys over because it's like instead of beating random local talent, they're beating this guy whose name we know.
Yeah. It's putting a name to the face.
Yeah.
Even if they were to announce the local talents that come in would bring more of a sense of,
yeah,
oh, they're beating a somebody because this person actually had a name.
Yeah.
Rather than going, well, he beat the tiny Asian kid.
Right.
It's a hell of a bump, by the way.
We'll talk real quick. We'll finish off talking about the contract signing.
Yeah. Give some final thoughts.
This was
3 dudes put signatures on paper.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like this was just kind of like thrown together.
Yeah.
And the fact that we had already seen all 3 of these guys didn't mean anything. The crowd reacted to none of them.
No, that was so surreal to me.
Like, we watched it. So earlier in the night, we started with John Cena. Crowd got a pop for him.
Yeah.
You know, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman got a boo.
Right.
Seth Rollins got booed during his match.
Right.
But then all 3 of them come out for this contract signing. Silence.
Yeah.
Everyone really wanted to hear what they were saying.
Well, and they did a pan over the crowd. People had already left.
Yeah.
And I'm just like
the entrances no one reacted to.
It wasn't until that there was actually like something going on that like people didn't really give a shit.
No. It
like
was.
And I felt like maybe it was because we kind of started off Raw with a main event type of match with John Cena fighting for the jobs of Ryback, Ziggler, and Rowan. And then they wanted to finish off with, oh, by the way, there's a title match.
Yeah.
You know.
At the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So
let's all write down our names.
Yeah, and it was, it ended with...
which, by the way, I think I'm going to go back in time to, like, after he first debuted the night after WrestleMania 18. But I'm thinking in my head right now, Brock Lesnar's got the worst track record with contract signings.
Yes.
He almost always ends up being the guy to go through the table.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking back to this time last year when The Undertaker chokeslammed him through the table at their contract
after he got
signing.
stabbed in the hand with a pen.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's because he was poking Undertaker in the chest with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a contract signing. It was a WWE contract signing.
The other thing I thought was strange was when Rollins first goes to attack Cena, but then Cena kind of counters and starts beating up Rollins, despite the fact that Lesnar got involved, I'm looking in the ring and J&J Security and Triple H all exit the ring as if they're not also capable of helping to beat up John Cena.
Yeah.
They're all scared of Brock Lesnar. They didn't want to get involved in the fight that he was...
But if there's 4 of them, 5 of them counting John Cena, I think they would have stood a much better chance against Brock Lesnar.
Probably. Well, and this is all after like the attempt at a peaceful, hey, if Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar work together to get rid of John Cena, we could have a one-on-one match and best man wins.
Yeah.
So... It was a very condescending Raw.
But no, like, if Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar work against John Cena, that just gives John Cena his opportunity to have the miracle come back and win. So you're really just hurting yourself in that case.
Mm-hmm.
But no, my final thought is, what favor... We talked about this. And I'm asking more hypothetically. What favor is the Authority actually doing to Seth Rollins by putting him against John Cena and Brock Lesnar?
I want to know your opinion, because I already know mine.
That's good.
I'm well aware of what I'm thinking. Just so anyone who might be concerned, I
was about to ask you if you knew what you were thinking.
I am so in control right now.
Alright, no, it's... I don't know, really. I think legitimately it's just they're calling it a favor.
Right.
Because he's getting a title shot.
Right.
End of story. Like, they're not like, if it was me, I wouldn't send my poster child in to fight Cena and Lesnar in a 3-way match.
Yeah.
Like, that's just saying, like, hey, here you go, skinny dude.
Right.
Try not to get killed.
Skinny dude with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah.
Well, see, and here's the thing about Seth Rollins, though, is that this is a favor, and if he wasn't as cocky and as full of himself as he was, he'd be able to use his ability to talk his way through, make a deal with Paul Heyman to get rid of John Cena, and then have that one-on-one match with Brock Lesnar, where he is undoubtedly smarter than Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but this toy Luke Harper is smarter than Brock Lesnar. But smart doesn't necessarily save you from an F5.
But it's a triple threat match. You can hit him in the face with the belt.
I know.
You can hit him with anything.
The bell?
The belt.
Oh, I didn't hear
Still,
the T.
Like
The bell, that's fucking random.
He could hit him with the bell too.
Both at the same time.
That might make Brock Lesnar smarter. Ding! Suddenly I know everything.
turns out Brock Lesnar is like Festus this whole time.
Oh yeah. Just it has to be really close to his ear when
he's
it goes
like
off.
Festus, but he's also hard of hearing.
Yeah. So yeah, final thoughts on Raw?
Is I
Yeah. It was, like I said, it
Yeah.
was very condescending to me.
It
was,
condescending.
or that's not the word I was looking for.
Contradictory.
Contradictory. That's, yeah, it was like, they were telling us a bunch of things we already
Vocab.
knew. Yeah, I'm bad at it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was okay. We didn't even talk about the Luke Harper Roman Reigns match because we were so busy on Roman Reigns' promo. It was a good match.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like,
I feel sorry for Luke Harper having to lose.
No, my main thing is I thought Raw was pretty averagey because the promos and the segments for the most part sucked. The matches had screwy endings, but the matches themselves were pretty good.
Yeah. We can only hope that next week being the go home to the Rumble is somewhat decent, and we get more than the 6 names that we have for the Rumble.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm okay with that, actually.
More of a surprise?
I'd rather be more surprised by who's in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Because this could be a completely different other tangent, but the last couple of years, I always, take a calculation of, who all is in the Rumble. Because a lot of times they start showing the graphic for the Rumble, and you see all the guys. And so I'll pause it on the graphic at some point and write down everybody who's in the Rumble. And when it comes down to Rumble time, there's always 2 or 3 guys who aren't in the Rumble.
Yeah.
That were in the graphic.
This is true. So maybe
But I call bullshit. Xavier Woods was supposed to be in the Rumble last year.
Yeah.
Wasn't.
Yeah.
Rusev was.
See, my main issue with only having 6 guys announced is no one's talking about the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And it makes it feel like no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, I honestly, at this point, I don't think announcing more people is going to help that.
No, not at this point. I'm just saying,
to me, it's because they're taking all the focus off the Rumble and putting it on the title match.
Yeah.
And the storyline of the 3 guys getting fired.
Yeah.
Is taking all the attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have the Royal fucking Rumble coming up.
The Vigilante Sting
is going to be in the Rumble.
Number 7. Right there. Calling it.
Official prediction?
No.
Is he just going to stare at everyone until Triple H attacks him?
Yeah, well, he's going to stare at them and they all throw themselves over the ropes.
Oh, okay. So it's secret psychic power.
Yeah, no, Sting's not going to be in the Rumble.
Will he be at the Rumble?
That's possible. I'd say there's probably a good 50-50 chance that Sting will be at the Rumble.
Because he either will or he won't.
Well, we'll have to wait 2 weeks to find out if he was at the Rumble. Next week we'll be doing Rumble predictions.
I predict a winner.
That's next week. Save it. But we've got a bunch of other videos coming up later. We've got the results from Fantasy Warfare. We've got our indie news, our midweek wrap up. We're getting the fallout from Aztec Warfare on Lucha Underground, which will be exciting to talk about, and the return to Thursday for the SmackDown Rundown. So
the shift to Wednesday for NXT.
Absolutely. So be sure to check out all those videos over there in the playlist as they pop up throughout the week.
Can you imagine that? Wednesday's got Lucha Underground and NXT on one day.
Wednesday's just got all
Wednesday Night Wars.
That's a thing.
Whoa.
We'll see you guys later. That's